What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's episode 296 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod. It's Kyle and Ben, and the picks are in, the team is set, and we are ready to talk Ryder Cup action coming up. There's some surprises, there's some upset folks, there's some hurt feelings, and there's some people overstepping their bound. Oh, I think it's the overstep their boundaries a little bit. So we're going to discuss it all next. But before we do that, we want to give a shout out to Bet Online, the number one sports betting website in the country. Sign up today. Use coupon code BLEAV, BLEAV. Get a 50% welcome bonus. So when you're ready to go drop some cash on this Florida-Utah Thursday night game, you can put $100 in, get 50 back free on top to just stack it all on that game. Go ahead and kick your season off with a bang, then hit the weekend, double it up again, triple it up. Let's go. Bet Online is the way to go. You can live bet. You can do whatever. They have everything. They have the lines for everything. Prop bets, live bets, regular bets, parlays, round robins. You can do it all. So sign up, have some fun. Bet Online. It's where the game starts. So Ben, the speculation's over.
Let's go.
The team is set. Zach went with Zach seemed to go with vibes. We want to go with vibes. That's what we're going USA vibes over possibly, some hotter, better golfers playing better golf right now. So we'll see how it shakes out. But go over the picks really quick. So obviously you have the auto quals who the top six: Scotty Scheffler, Cantlay, Schauffele, Brian Harman, Wyndham Clark, and Max Homa. And then you got your captain's picks. The talk was, will he or won't he take Brooks Koepka? Brooks Koepka slipped out of the auto qualifying spot by a mere $29,000-$30,000 that worth of points. So you got Brooks Koepka. He pretty much went chalk outside of two picks. So you went Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Colin Morikawa, Ricky, and then Sam Burns. So I'll skip those. So Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Colin Morikawa, Sam Burns, those were all in the top 12. Okay. So typically, you see a majority of those dudes are going to fill out your picks. Then he stepped out a little bit. So he went Ricky Fowler, who was 13th, I think, in points. So just outside of that 12. And then Justin Thomas, shockingly, at 15th. I say shockingly. It's not super surprising. But Keegan Bradley, and then Keegan Bradley and Cameron Young, who was 9th in the points. See you, good day. Sorry, guys. Better luck in the next 2 years. So, what are your initial takeaways? What do you think? You happy? Sad? What's your take on it?
Love it. These are the ones I wanted. I got my picks, so I can't complain. However, a couple of surprises. One thing that jumps out at me. First off, let's start with Brooks Koepka. He had every opportunity to do the anti-live thing and just not pick him. You even heard before the FedEx Cup Championship, and Scotty Scheffler in his press conference was asked about it, and his only answer was, well, what'd he miss it? 29, 30 points. He plays in one tournament on tour, and he's able to be here without question. So if he's not playing live and he plays on one tournament. So I thought, well, that's interesting that the auto qual is basically saying, he chose his path, so he might not get picked. But then you saw the thing that Jenna sent out that he was eating off an American flag paper plate Saturday night. I believe that these guys were told probably even as far back as a week ago if they were on the team or not. They probably got the phone call. I don't think he waited till Monday night to do it before announcing on Tuesday. So I think
maybe not all of them. Maybe not all of them. Maybe the last few.
I think, I was talking to somebody today, and that was one, and it was Doug in Montgomery, and I appreciate him having us on and plugging the golf pod. He was telling everybody to go listen today and talk, because we couldn't get into as much detail as you and I are about this on his show, but he's kind of close to that Alabama program, and he even thinks that Justin was probably called maybe last week sometime, like after he did not make that last turn of the BMW because he didn't make the cut to make the BMW to get extra points whenever he missed that chip in on 18 the tournament before. Yeah. Doug made a good point. He probably thinks that maybe Zach Johnson reached out and said, I don't think you got anything to worry about, something of that nature. Now, Keegan didn't get called until basically last night.
Yeah.
Judging by his comments.
That's tough.
And so and honestly, you got to kind of wonder if you're Keegan, he probably should have been called sooner. And if once you sit by that phone and you wait, don't hear anything, it's got to be a sickening feeling that it just gets worse. Or like, okay, my phone's not ringing. That's bad. And so when it finally does ring, he said as soon as he picked up the phone, he could tell in Zach Johnson's voice he knew what the answer was before he even went into detail about what he was going to do. So that's Brooks, number one. The other ones, of course, you got the other shocker that is Justin Thomas. I'll go the opposite end of things, who's just played horrible. But even Jeff Ogilvy, who's played in a lot of these things before, played in the President's Cup, he said you'd be absolutely stupid not to take Justin Thomas, and somebody should be fired for not doing so. And then the other one sticks out to me, Sam Burns. And I got to be honest with you, Kyle, I think the only reason Sam Burns gets in is because he and Scotty Scheffler are best friends. And I think Scheffler
he's a great putter, and Scheffler is the opposite of that. So
yeah.
So they
may have asked Scheffler, who do you want to play with? And he probably said Sam Burns.
Yeah.
So honestly, we talked about everyone, the coaches have said that politics didn't play into it. I can promise you that he asked some of the auto quals who they would like to play. And I guarantee you, with Scheffler and Burns being best friends and playing practice rounds together and playing together on weekends that PGA Tour is not even on, and hanging out at each other's houses and hanging out with each other's wives and stuff, I guarantee you he said, I would like Sam Burns because I need somebody that can help carry such a great relationship that it would be awesome to have him out there. And the good news is he was, inside that top 12 BLB picks. It makes it easy. It's not like he said Tony Finau, who's out there like outside the top 20.
Yeah.
He went with Burns. So that was one of the ones. Burns was one of the ones you and I were saying was playing worse towards the end of the year. We were kind of worried about him not getting it. And as a matter of fact, I thought with the way Glover played, Glover may get the nod over Burns just because of him being hot at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But let's also call it what it is. They're a month from playing. So it's not necessarily who's hot now. It's and get over there quick enough to have a couple or at least a week and a half of practice rounds. And another point that I had made to Doug, I'd forgotten about this until I started reading up on it. Another reason they wanted to take Koepka more than likely, Kyle, he's the only one that's played on the European Tour and the PG and the DP World Tour. I think he's played this course. So they may need him so he can kind of give some ins and outs of when he was playing on the European Tour. I think he played this course during his 3-year stint that he was over there. So more than likely that may have helped Koepka in his cause. Besides the fact that he's a beast when it comes to Ryder Cup and President's Cup play. And as you said, 30 points or $30,000 out of being in a top qualifier. I think you just had to go with him. I mean, you said if he doesn't pick him, you're showing up in Iowa and beating his ass. So
yeah, I'm Team Euro. Especially if he would have not been picked and Justin Thomas did get picked, I would have been not happy at all. Look, here's my thing on Justin Thomas. Like, top 3 favorite golfers in golf right now. I love Justin Thomas. I don't care where he went to college.
Right.
I would cheer for him every time, and it hurts to watch him not be good. Okay. It definitely takes the excitement down. It takes the fun down. I love Justin Thomas. I went back and listened to some of our old episodes. Our very first episode we ever did. Pick one golfer you'd love to play with.
Yes.
I picked Justin Thomas. Okay.
You did.
I love Justin Thomas. He is having a year that is historically bad for him. Okay. I'm going to give you these stats. Prior to this year, the previous 5 or 6, I think it's 6, it could be 5, regardless, a long time. He has never finished outside the top 10 in the FedEx Cup. Okay. Never finished outside the top 10. This year he's 71st and missed. He didn't get to play in the last 2 events. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the level of play there that he's had. So people talk about his record. Oh, he's 17-5. He's 17 and this, whatever. Yeah. He was also one of the top. He was playing at a top 10 level in the whole PGA, on the whole PGA tour when he was doing that. He's not, you don't just, I guess my thing is, like, I shot a couple of years ago, I shot a 68, and then last Saturday I shot an 80. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's
You're not the same player you were that day.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that's a very crude example. That's a very crude example.
No, it's true. I mean, yeah, that's true.
There's a possibility. There is a possibility that with him not playing and just being able to grind for a 3 or 4 weeks and then leading up to that, he figures something out. Like, maybe when you're in the grind of the tour and you have a little slump, it's hard to work your way back into it because you're playing, and you can't take off time to go, like, just not do anything but work on little fundamental things and kind of try to figure it out. You just don't have that time, and there's no real off season to do that. So maybe. And he is that kind of guy that I feel like he's probably talented enough to figure it out. I would have loved to have him as like a captain on the team, like being there. Mm-hmm. Keegan Bradley, Cam Young, Bryson, hell, Taylor Gooch. Like, you got guys that have had fantastic years. Lucas Glover, that are playing hot right now.
Do you know what else? Do you know what else helped JT though?
What's that?
Bones. He's got more Ryder Cup experience than anybody as a caddy.
Sure. I mean, I get it. It's vibes. Like, he's got vibes. JT,
I know, but also
JT
I said this.
Vibes.
I had this argument with somebody today because I said I like the team. I was fine with the JT pick. You have been you've been not against it, but you've made a very compelling reason why JT should. However, I said, all right, let me ask you this. If you're an odds maker right now, because we're going into Ryder Cup play, this is match play that is going to be taking place. Throw away Ryder Cup. Let's just say head-to-head matches, JT against Keegan, JT against Cam Young. Do you not think JT's probably still favored in that?
Win,
Vegas odds maker.
Win, like right now?
Like if they played right now.
That he'd be the dog in those matches.
You think so? See, I went complete opposite. I think with the experience, I think Vegas would like him. I think they would favor him.
Sam Burns won the match play this year. Like, he won.
I know.
He won the. I don't even know if I don't even really know where Justin Thomas finished in the match play. No, I think they would both. I think they would both be. I think he would be the underdog right now. In a vacuum, I think right now for sure he'd be the underdog to those two guys.
I say that because in match play, I mean, you can have, now this is tough to do because we're thinking about it as amateurs too. But in match play, I mean, Justin Thomas goes out and has 8 birdies in a round, he's winning that match.
Yeah, I mean,
even if he has a 10 on the other 10 holes that he's playing.
I don't even think he played in the match play. He did not. I don't think he played
WGC.
I don't think Justin Thomas played in the match play this year. I know.
Well, then that's part of the reason. That's stupid because you get extra points for playing in that. That was dumb if he didn't play in it.
Yeah, but like, think about this too. It's a 2-year. I mean, I think this should be looked at. It's a 2-year cumulative cycle of points. Okay, and majors, you get like 1.5. A 1.5 multiplier on your money in those events. He won the PGA Championship like 15 months ago. Yeah, that's not JT right now. Like, he missed 3 cuts in the majors this year and finished T65 in the PGA Championship. I mean, think about the historically bad year this is. I just don't know that the Ryder Cup is where you want to try to rekindle the flame or figure it out. Now, on the flip side, it's not all stroke play. He's got a partner he can lean on. it's pressure, but to me it's a little bit less pressure because you can kind of lean on each other. The alternate shot, the best ball, where I don't necessarily have to try to not make double bogeys. I'm trying to make birdies. So and then I got my partner there that's there trying to do the same thing. So I can kind of play a little bit. I feel like I play a little bit freer. Maybe that helps. He is intense. He is a competitor. I have no doubt that he is going to fight and give everything that he has. And I maybe just especially some of the scrubs this Euro team is going to throw out there. Maybe there'll be a little bit of an aura around him that'll make it a little bit intimidating. But again, when you want to try to go back to back, you want to go try to win over there at a very winnable event, in a location that is very from a climate and temperature wise is not going to be shocking. It's going to be very similar to what they experience in America. And the course is not your traditional links style. It kind of looks like a country club, like a regular country club, like a regular country club you'd see in America. So when you want to go try to win over there, I just don't know if maybe you just think you're that much better than them, that vibes is the only thing you're missing. But I don't know. I'm still fired up. They picked Brooks. That was the main thing. And that means, I don't know, I feel like that means a lot. That opens a door, I think, for more possible live guys getting in the mix if they can play a little bit better in the majors. But anyway, that's my takeaways. It's Ryder Cup season, baby. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Before we move on to the
little less than a month away. So I mean, and I will say this before we move on to the next topic. There are a couple of the guys that are picked that they still have not taken their name out of the hat. I think they may try to play in that Fortinet Championship that's going to be played here in a week and a half. So Justin's one of those. Maybe that's how he tries to sharpen his game a little bit before he goes over there. He tries to get some competitive play under his belt at as you and I refer to it, the Fortnite Championship, even though that's not how you pronounce it, because I saw the commercial over and over this past weekend. They were like, join us for the Fortnite. And I kept going, that's not how you pronounce it, Bob. That's a Fortnite Championship.
You got you got football going on. Ain't nobody watching the Fortnite Championship.
No.
Justin needs to be on the range. Just be on the range, day sun up till sundown, and get it figured out. No, before we move on to the next topic, which I think is very, very, very interesting. I think Freddie Couples overstepped his boundaries a little bit a little while back, and we're going to talk about that. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to Bad Birdie Golf. Bad Birdie Golf apparel, guys. What else can we say? The polos are fantastic. It's getting to be pullover season. They're going to drop some new pullovers soon. The hats are fantastic. They got shorts, they got pants, they got swag, they got everything.
Moisture wicking hat inside there too, by the way.
Yeah,
which is for you, big sweater. This is big for Kyle.
Huge play for me to be able to absorb all the moisture that I expend.
He's a sweater.
So big sweater. Use coupon code DADS.
I never have figured out if it's how hard you work or if it's your nerves and how tense you are that make you sweat when we're on a golf course, because you are pretty intense the entire time.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just I'm just out of shape and I'm an intense and I'm a sweater. But I was always a sweater even when I was in shape. So
okay,
use coupon code DADS DADS 15, like plural DADS 15. Take 15% off literally every order that you can get. If you can find stuff on sale, you can throw that on top of it and save extra. I mean, it's a great deal. And the stuff's already priced really great anyway. So check them out. Bad Birdie Golf Apparel. It's where fashion should end. It's that good. Like, don't go anywhere else. Start and stop there. So, all right. So I think you've seen this story. Have you seen this Freddie Couples?
Yes. I saw it. I actually saw it a little bit earlier today.
So Freddie, back in the late July, Freddie is a vice captain. Okay. So he has absolutely zero authority when it comes to making picks. He's like, yep,
Yes.
Cam Young will be in Rome for sure back in late July. And then obviously Cam Young does not get picked. Like, how do you feel if you're Cam Young? First of all, how do you feel if you're Freddie Couples? Are you embarrassed?
You need to be completely embarrassed. Kyle, this is the defensive backs coach going on the record of who the starting quarterback is this weekend.
Yep.
That this is no different than the guy that has nothing to do with the pick. I mean, maybe a little bit to do with the picks, but at the end of the day, he ain't gonna be the one behind the microphone that's gonna be announcing the picks. Okay. True. And for him to come out and say that was dumb. Now, or like maybe he said, I got thinking about it. Did he say it in late July? Because at that time, wasn't Cam Young up at like the number 7 spot or something like that?
Didn't it was late July. Yeah, it was like July 29th or something whenever he said it.
He fell to 9. He's still in top 10. I mean, he's still number 9. So that just, this was, I said that today to somebody. I said, that's the defensive back getting up there at the press conference ahead of the head coach and going, this is our starting quarterback this weekend. I know that the coach is going to get to that in a little bit, but I just needed you to know that before you see everybody.
Yeah, either that or like
on Saturday. That's what he did.
Yeah, or like throwing out a scholarship offer with like no approval from anybody. You're just like, yes. Yep, you got an offer. You come on.
Yeah. The team is out of scholarships. All 85 are taken, and not just that. It's like the backup linebackers coach shows up at a game one night and says, "Hey, kid, we got an offer." Like, no, we don't. No, we do not.
Yeah, no.
That's exactly what it is.
How ballsy is it for Zach Johnson to not pick Cam Young after that's been said? And
he tried to make light of it. Did you see his comment where he said, Freddie said that in jest? It's like, no, bub, that wasn't in jest. He legit he made a call. He made a call as basically a replacement captain in case you get fired. That's what he made the call as.
Yeah.
And that'll make for interesting fodder in the locker room already. Now I also wonder, they have not asked for a comment from Freddie yet. I'm curious in the next couple of days if they ask him something and he either falls on the sword and says, that was stupid. I shouldn't have said that back in July. When I said it, I didn't really think it would be come to this point and come to this big of a deal. But that was done. I spoke out of turn. I should not have said it. And he apologizes, or he pulls the Zach Johnson and says, man, I was just joking around when I said that. And you guys all took it too serious. And that's going to be a weak, what move if he does that. I'm going to be upset if he does that.
If you're Cam Young, do you kind of feel like Freddie possibly could have blown your chance? Like maybe Freddie throws it out there and Zach's like, wait a minute, I'm the captain. I pick who I want to pick, and I don't have to pick Cam Young if just because Freddie Couples said so. Like, do you think there's possibly some feelings like that? I know that would, if I was Cam Young, that would be going through my mind. Like, Freddie just screwed me on this. Like, Freddie just cost me my pick because I'm 9. I'm in. Like, 9 is in.
Yeah,
if you're 9th, you think you're in.
Yeah, if you're top 10, you think you're in. Like, the choices are always like 10, 11, 12. Do I take one of those guys?
Yeah.
Or do I go outside 10, 11, or 12? Like, anybody inside the top 10 is usually golden. And, and at the time when Freddie said that, I think as I said, I think he was like 7-ish, something around there, 7 or 8. So because he's dropped a couple spots. So I don't know if it screwed him. I will say this. If I'm Cam Young, I don't know him personally. I don't hear people talk about him. Other players talk about him, like how personable he is with other people. I'd have a tough time if that was said in a trusting manner from Freddie and maybe even another captain or two behind closed doors. I got a hard time trusting anybody because he's young. So no pun intended, Cameron Young, but he is young and he's going to have an opportunity to play in other Ryder Cups. And at this point, if you don't auto-qualify, you got to wonder if that kind of burned him. And he's like, I ain't believing it until I get a phone call from the captain if I'm on the team. So, I mean, because I think he's got I think he's got an opportunity. At least he's young enough the next time around he can be on the team. So I would feel, if I'm him, I feel betrayed by some of the older PGA Tour players that got in his ear and basically said, you're good. And then it turns out, and then maybe that's a lesson learned by him. Maybe next time when people start talking to him, he goes straight to the captain and go, this is what these guys are saying. Like, I don't understand why everybody's so hesitant to talk. They're like, you don't want to push it. You don't talk to the captain. If all the vice captains are telling me that I'm a pick, I'm going to the captain and going, this is what I'm being told. Sorry. That's what I'm saying.
How do you not pick Cam Young? How do you not pick Cam Young?
I picked Cam Young over Sam Burns. So, I mean, even, and so
I'm okay with that. I mean,
I'm with you. I mean, I understand, the JT thing, we just got past and we understand that. And his history is what got him in. Maybe Bones helped a little bit. Even the Ricky Fowler pick, he was playing good this year. Maybe he's hot, so you can talk about that. But yeah, if you're Cam Young, you're thinking, everybody keeps talking about Keegan. I'm with you. How do you not pick Cam Young?
I mean, he was
hell with Keegan. I mean, Keegan was a flash in the pan here in the last couple of weeks. So,
had two top tens in majors. He came in second at the match play to Sam Burns. I mean, he was 42nd in FedEx Cup, which I can't quite figure that out because he had he had some really high finishes. He had the second, like I said, the second in the match play, two top tens in majors, T6, T8 in back-to-back weeks at the John Deere and the Open Championship. And then he missed a cut, T31, T15 in his last event. But I don't know. I don't know how you don't take. I want bombs. Like, I want to go out there and drive greens. Like, I want bombs. And Sam Burns should be. I'm not Sam Burns. Cam Young is that guy. Like, he's that guy. I don't know, but it's going to be fun. We got a couple of weeks to kind of wait. We got football to watch while we're doing that, and because nobody's going to watch any of the golf between now and then whatsoever. They're just going to talk about it. So we'll talk. We'll analyze it every which way we possibly can up until then. And once this, I'm not sure, is the Euro team finished? Is it completely?
No, not at all. They just got their four guys. That's it. And
yeah. So once that one is done, so I think the only ones that are locked in so far are like Rory, John Rahm, Robert McIntyre, and then
no, he's not even, according to the Ryder Cup website that I just pulled up.
He's got a blue name.
He's got a blue name on the list, but right now, if you go to teams, all that's listed is Tyrrell Hatton, Victor Hovland, Rory, and John Rahm.
Yeah. Then you got Tommy Fleetwood in a blue name, and you got Robert McIntyre blue name. So I guess that means, I don't know if that means.
Maybe they're pending. Hell, I don't know.
You get six. You get they changed their deal to where it's 6 picks now. So it's like the top 6 in European point. I'm sorry, top 3 in European points and top 3 in world points that aren't already European picks. Because like Rory and John Rahm are at the top of the world points, so obviously they're already in, so they're not going to count them. But I think it used to be 9, and then they would have 3 captains picks, but now they're going to have 6 captains picks. So I'll be curious to see how that shakes out. Surely you're going to get a Shane Lowry and a Matt Fitzpatrick and a Justin Rose. Those are going to be 3, and then where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? So I
told you they got to take that guy that's ranked number 8. I told you they got to pick that guy ranked like number 19 or whatever, because he's the only Italian that's even on the top 35. So they got to take him.
Yeah, talking about Guido. Is that Guido or somebody else?
Yeah, Guido.
Guido.
Yes, Guido. He's the only Italian that's in like the top 35.
Yeah, there you go. You got to take him.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see how that shakes out, and we'll jump back on and talk about it when it gets here. But we appreciate you guys for listening. That's it for tonight. Rest up, get ready. We're just counting down the days for Ryder Cup, and we can't wait. So y'all have a great rest of the week. Maybe we'll talk again soon. It's episode 296 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod, and we're always
stroking.